Okay, let's go over example 2, which is using a tape diagram. And this is part of chapter 5, section 1, ratios. Okay, so problem A says the ratio of your monthly allowance to your friend's monthly allowance is 5:3. So they already gave us the ratio of your allowance to your friend's, which is 5:3. The monthly allowance total is $40. How much is each allowance? And for this one, we need to use what's called a tape diagram. Okay, so let me show you what a tape diagram looks like. First of all, let's type out what we're comparing. We're comparing your allowance to your friends. Right, and we want to know how much is each allowance. So we know that the ratio is 5:3. 5 meaning that you have 5 parts. So tape diagram kind of looks like this big rectangle. And we need to make 5 parts within this rectangle. And we know it's 5 parts because in the ratio you have 5. Okay, so I'm just going to split this up into 5 pieces. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to try and make these even. So I'm going to make my box a little bit smaller. So let's double check. We have 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then your friend has 3 pieces, 3 parts. So I'm going to draw another rectangle tape diagram for them. Try and make it as even as possible with yours because they should look the same. We're saying each part is equal to each other. So 1 part, 2 part. Okay, they might not be like exactly the same, but I did the best I could, right? Okay, so we drew a tape diagram. Now we need to find out how much is each allowance. So we know the total is $40. So all of these parts represent $40. Okay, so I'm just gonna type that so I know. So let's see, how many total parts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 parts, and we know that represents $40. Okay, we want to figure out how much does each part represent. So if all 8 parts is $40, so it'll be 40, and each part, and we want to know how much each part is, and there's 8 parts, we need to take 40 divided by 8. And I know 40 divided by 8 is 5. So that means that each of these parts is $5. So I'm going to fill that in here. So that means this part is $5. This one is $5, $5, $5, $5. Oops. Oh, it just made me go to the next line. Okay. $5. And that means this part is $5, $5, $5. So let's make sure that's a total of $40. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Oh, okay, perfect. So each part is really $5. So how much is each allowance? Well, you have 5 parts. So 5 times, and each part is $5. So $5. I know 5 times 5 is 25. So you have $25 for each week's allowance, and your friend has 3 parts. So 3 times, and each part is $5. 3 times 5 is $15. So your friend has $15 each week for their allowance. Okay, so this is using a tape diagram. Let's go through another one. I encourage you to pause the video and see if you can at least get a start on this one on your own. Okay, problem B says you separate 42, move down a little bit. You separate 42 bulbs of garlic into two groups, one for planting and one for cooking. You plant 3 bulbs out of every 4 bulbs you use for cooking. How many bulbs do you plant and cook? Okay, so what are we comparing? We're comparing the bulbs you plant and the bulbs you cook. Okay, and we know that we plant 3 bulbs. So let's draw a tape diagram for 3 parts. Okay, we plant 3 bulbs for every 4 bulbs you use for cooking. Okay, so the cooking needs 4 parts. I'm going to try and make my parts as even as possible because we're saying that each part is equal. Okay, and let's see. All of these parts equal how many total bulbs? Oh, 42. So you separate 42 bulbs into 2 groups. So both of these parts really represents 42 bulbs. Okay, so we want to figure out how much does each part represent. Well, we're starting with how many bulbs? We're starting with 42 bulbs. So we're going to take 42 divided by the number of parts. And let's see, let's count our number of parts. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I counted how many rectangles I see there. And there are 7 total rectangles, 7 total parts. So we're going to take our 42 divided by 7. And I know that equals 6. So that means each of these parts represents 6 bulbs. So I'm going to fill that in. So this is 6 bulbs, 6 bulbs, 6 bulbs. And these bulbs, that's the pieces of garlic. That's what we're really working with. Whereas last problem, we talked about dollars. So this is 6 bulbs, 6, 6. Oh, it's not letting me keep going. 6. So if we counted up all of these 6s, we should get 42 because we're saying there's 42 total and it's broken into these 2 groups and each part is 6. Okay, so now we need to figure out how many bulbs we really use for planting and how many for cooking. So planting, let's figure that out. Well, there's 3 parts and each part is 6 bulbs. So I know 3 times 6 is 18. So 18 bulbs. And for cooking, let's see, there's 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times. And each part is still 6. And I know that 4 times 6 is 24. So we use 24 bulbs for cooking.